Great to have you with us. I'm Frances Hood. And we start with SABC workers taking their fight over retrenchments to the streets. Workers and their unions are planning a march to the union buildings in Pretoria tomorrow. Now, the Communication Workers Union, the CWU, has also served the SABC with a notice to resume their strike action as the public broadcaster forges ahead with retrenchments. The other main union, BEMAWU, says it will join the strike. Last year, the SABC extended the consultation process by 30 days until the end of December, but unions still contend that the process has been unfair. The SABC, meanwhile, is forging ahead and has issued letters saying it has to reduce the wage bill to make the organisation sustainable. Now, a group called the Independent Beneficiaries Forum says it's mobilising the creative industry and the broader civil society to support SABC workers. To discuss, we're joined by the convener, Tebogo Sithathu. Thank you for being with us, Tebogo. Just tell us about the Independent Beneficiaries Forum and why you are supporting SABC workers.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening to the viewers of SABC. The Independent Beneficiaries Forum is a civil society organization that prides itself in wanting to be a revolutionary leader in ensuring that civil society is constantly mobilized, as well as me coming from the creative industry. The creative industry does not work in silos, but as we know, we are part of the civil society movement. So the reason we are getting into the space, so the reason we are moving quickly into this space is that we've been supporting the picketing by the SABC workers last year, and we want to ensure that the SABC is restructured properly, not the way the current leadership is doing. Yeah. And we're also calling and supporting school to say the board should be fired, with the exception of the deputy chair, of course, because she's quite progressive, and maybe one or two other board members in there. But we want to, as part of the restructuring, to ensure that the creative industry benefits by having local content back into the pipeline.
Will you be attending the march tomorrow?
Most definitely. That's why we've been hard at work as IBF to mobilize the entire creative industry to support the call, to support the SABC, to support the march, to make our voices very clear and call on government to save the SABC, and so that we can restructure it, bring back local content. Once we're done with the SABC with local content, then we will move on to the other broadcasters to ensure that the creatives of this country survive.
So are creative people supporting this? Are they hearing your rallying cry? And the reason I ask is because so many people are fighting for their livelihoods. We saw at SAA there was a huge fight about job losses, and even though unions seemed to win, the airline sank after that. They're trying to revive it now, but people are not getting paid. And of course there's been retrenchments across South Africa, across many industries. Is there an appetite for people to support SABC workers amidst all of this?
Most definitely, because of this is why they have to rally behind this call, because of this is a matter of life and death, and this speaks to their survival. Because of without local content, without them supporting the proper restructuring of the SABC, we're never going to see the local content come into the space, which means we're never going to see royalties remain in this country, which is a very sad state of affairs. So we are going to mobilize them. They are really responding positively. They will be there in their numbers, and this is a process we are going to be in for the long haul.
Final question: how does saving jobs at the SABC help local content?
In more ways than one. I mean, the current restructuring process looks at firing people and to consolidate certain indigenous radio stations, like the Palapala FM, particularly in the Northern Province in Limpopo. So that actually in itself makes the space smaller for creatives to come up with content so that they can earn a living based on their talents. So this is critical, because if you fire those people, you close certain radio stations, you are actually killing the heritage and the culture of this country and the the opportunity of us exporting our content overseas. So local content issue has been a problem since, and this is a very good time for us to show support and so that the SABC workers can also support us in our call.
All right, thank you for explaining that link, and we'll follow protest action planned by SABC workers and civil society groups supporting them and unions tomorrow. That was Tebogo Sithathu from the Independent Beneficiaries Forum.